Northside graffiti of a morning, acid colours along the train line, suburban trippers out the window, elders and the unemployed dreaming, radiant in the winter sunshine. As if we believe both friend and foe are tucked up safe from harm and sleeping when we lift our eyes to the mountains, golden in their coverlet of snow.
Beautiful.
It's called poverty. Poverty is coloured red. Red, searing brain pain. Tortured mind cries stop. Agonised thoughts seek shelter. Life hurts and love tears at my being. Help wanted, apply chaos within. Anything sought to numb the dumb cells. As responsibility looms and dooms me to continue, the network of pain that serves as my brain is working on overload.
No problem. We've come through the 3 years, the commemorative years from, 1913 to the Rising. And so, this was written over those commemorative years. But what really affected me was, the fact that our beginnings as a republic were in such radical thought and with these radical activists, especially the women. Because in fact there wouldn't have been a rising without the women organising first for the union and then the lockout and then, the energies that come into the city because of that. The Citizens' Army and all that radical thought that then when we became a republic after the War of Independence and Civil War, all of that radicalism and ideas about equality and justice, it all seemed to close up, and where did all those ideas, certainly the Ireland I grew up in, the radical ideas had gone way underground and it was very polarised and class. If you were in a class, you didn't move out of it, you know what I mean? There was a sense that you were trapped in whatever class you were born into, and that educational opportunity, all the things that people had fought for, all those ideas seemed to be just paid lip service to. So in the last 3 years there's been all these fantastic projects, of people going back and discovering their own history and the history of their neighbours, their family, their friends. So I was very inspired by that. But the most moving memorial things I've seen are the quilts that communities make. Because the community, certainly the North Inner City community, I think suffered the most damage in the Rising. The gunboats were shelling this area from the Liffey, There's the trauma goes back to there at least. So I had this feeling that the most significant memorial acts were the quilts that communities make to mourn their lost children, their adult children often. The kids, the people, some of your friends, some of my friends who've died through drug use, And every year in February in that, I don't get there every year, but I try to get there every year in Sean McDermott Street when they display the quilts around the walls of the church. To me that is a really significant, moving attempt to remember people who suffered and died. The first one in it is called The Moons, because I think I like the idea of the cycles of the moons, and we're connected, I suppose, as women, I think, with our 28-day cycle, with the cycle of the moon. And the moon often stands in history since ancient times, probably even before they had writing. The moon always stands as a kind of a symbol of the woman, of the feminine. So I thought that would be a lovely way to start. And it came out of a dream I had. I had this dream that I was sitting by a river and there were all these moons in the water flowing past, in different full moons and crescent moons and half moons just passing. And I realised I realised in the dream, and you know the way in a dream you sometimes say, I must remember this when I wake up. You know, I must remember this. And so I did remember it when I woke up, that these were all moons that were there when significant things had happened to me, you know. So that was the idea behind it. So the moons like petals adrift in the stream, night moon and day moon, moon in eclipse, slender new moon in the winter sky, and full harvest moon, a golden ball, moon of my first breath, my mother's death, grandfather moon, my father's frail boat, moon of my lost child, my sister's fall, moon of my beloved's waking dream, moons of my life adrift on the stream. So that's one of them. They're all, how are you over there in New York? We're sending greetings and fellowship from Dublin. Here we are in the SAOL Project. We say hello to Brendan and we say hello to all the gang there and to everyone who's involved in St. Patrick's Day for All. And we appreciate your inclusivity and we appreciate what you do to keep the issues flying there. We're here at the heart of Dublin, rainy day, great bunch of women, and we're sending you all our best. We also want you to be very aware that there's a huge sisterhood here in Ireland, and we're calling on the sisterhood there to support us in our efforts to repeal the 8th Amendment of the Irish Constitution, the last gasp of the theocracy. So send all your best wishes and send all your support to us, and we send ours to you. The quilt. It was a simple affair, 9 squares by 9 squares, blue on green spots, stripes, bows, alternate with gold on red chevrons. My grandmother's quilt I slept under the long and winding nights of childhood. Above the bed a roundy window, my own full moon. I love the weathers wheeling past, the stars, the summer suns, my auntie's deep breaths, distant thunder.